For decades, men have been told that prostate problems are simply an inevitable part of aging. We've accepted the narrative that after 65, enlarged prostates, frequent nighttime urination, and diminished intimate vitality are just facts of life we must endure. But what if I told you that the most significant threat to your prostate health after 65 isn't genetics, isn't aging itself, and isn't even the foods you've been warned about? What if the real culprit is a habit so common, so seemingly innocent, that you probably did it this morning without giving it a second thought? I'm Dr. Evelyn Hart, and today I want to share with you a discovery that challenges everything we thought we knew about prostate health in mature men. After reviewing thousands of cases and analyzing the latest research in urological health, I've identified one daily habit that's silently wreaking havoc on prostates across the globe. This isn't about what you eat or don't eat, what supplements you take or avoid. This is about something far more fundamental, something that happens multiple times every single day, and something that's completely within your power to change starting right now. The habit I'm referring to is prolonged sitting, particularly the way most men sit throughout their daily routines. But this isn't just about sitting in general. It's about the specific postural patterns, the duration, the frequency, and most critically, the pelvic positioning that modern life has imposed upon us. When we examine the anatomical relationship between sitting posture and prostate health, we discover a cascade of physiological changes that directly compromise prostate function, blood circulation, and overall urogenital wellness. Let me paint you a picture of what happens inside your body when you maintain typical sitting positions for extended periods. Your prostate gland, roughly the size of a walnut, sits nestled beneath your bladder, surrounding the upper portion of your urethra. It's positioned in what anatomists call the pelvic floor, a complex network of muscles, ligaments, and connective tissues that support your pelvic organs. When you sit in the conventional manner, especially in modern chairs and car seats, several concerning things begin to happen simultaneously. First, the angle of your pelvis changes dramatically. Instead of maintaining the natural curve of your lower spine, prolonged sitting causes what's called posterior pelvic tilt. This tilting compresses the space around your prostate, reducing the natural room this gland needs to function optimally. Think of it like wearing a belt that's too tight around your waist, except this compression is happening internally, around one of your most vital reproductive organs. Second, the weight distribution changes completely. When you're standing or walking, your body weight is distributed through your legs and feet. When you sit, particularly in soft or unsupportive surfaces, your entire upper body weight concentrates on your pelvic floor. Your prostate, along with surrounding tissues, bears this constant downward pressure hour after hour, day after day. This chronic compression restricts normal blood flow, lymphatic drainage, and nerve function in the entire pelvic region. But the most insidious aspect of prolonged sitting is what happens to your circulation. The prostate gland, like all organs, depends on robust blood flow to deliver oxygen and nutrients while removing metabolic waste products. When you sit for extended periods, several circulatory problems develop simultaneously. The major blood vessels that supply your pelvic region become compressed where they pass through your hip joints and pelvic floor. This compression reduces both arterial inflow and venous outflow, creating a state of chronic congestion around your prostate. Research from the University of California, San Francisco tracked over 3,000 men aged 65 to 85 for 7 years. They found that men who sat more than 8 hours daily had a 43% higher risk of developing significant prostate enlargement compared to men who limited sitting to fewer than 4 hours daily. Even more striking, men who sat continuously for more than 2 hours without standing had double the rate of urinary symptoms associated with prostate dysfunction. the inflammation connection reveals another layer of this problem. When blood flow becomes sluggish around the prostate, inflammatory markers begin to accumulate. These inflammatory substances, normally cleared away by healthy circulation, start to build up in prostate tissue. This chronic, low-grade inflammation gradually changes the cellular environment around your prostate, promoting the kind of tissue changes that lead to enlargement, discomfort, and functional problems. Temperature regulation adds yet another dimension to this issue. Your prostate functions optimally within a very narrow temperature range. Prolonged sitting, especially on warm surfaces or in heated environments, elevates the temperature around your prostate gland. This sustained thermal stress affects cellular metabolism, hormone activity, and even the production of prostatic fluid. Many men notice that their urinary symptoms worsen during long car rides or after spending hours in heated offices without realizing that elevated pelvic temperature is contributing to their discomfort. The hormonal implications of prolonged sitting extend far beyond what most men realize. Extended sitting periods alter the production and metabolism of hormones that directly affect prostate health. Research from the Mayo Clinic demonstrated that men who sat more than 6 hours daily had measurably different testosterone profiles compared to more active men of the same age. Specifically, they showed reduced levels of free testosterone and elevated levels of sex hormone-binding globulin, a protein that makes testosterone less available for use by prostate tissue. Insulin resistance develops more readily in men who maintain sedentary postures throughout the day. This metabolic dysfunction doesn't just affect blood sugar control. It directly influences prostate health through multiple pathways. Higher insulin levels promote inflammation throughout the body, including in prostate tissue. Additionally, insulin resistance alters the way your body processes and utilizes various nutrients that are crucial for prostate health, including zinc, selenium, and essential fatty acids. The neurological aspects of prolonged sitting reveal additional concerns for prostate wellness. The nerves that control prostate function, bladder emptying, and intimate response all travel through the same pelvic region that becomes compressed during extended sitting. When these nerve pathways experience chronic pressure, their function gradually deteriorates. This neurological compromise manifests as weakened urinary stream, incomplete bladder emptying, and reduced sensation in the entire pelvic region. Lymphatic drainage represents another critical factor often overlooked in discussions of prostate health. Your lymphatic system serves as the body's waste removal network, clearing away cellular debris, excess fluid, and inflammatory substances. The lymphatic vessels that drain your prostate region depend on movement and muscle contractions to function effectively. Prolonged sitting essentially paralyzes this lymphatic pump, allowing waste products and inflammatory substances to accumulate around your prostate gland. Consider the story of Robert, a 72-year-old retired accountant who came to see me after experiencing increasingly troublesome urinary symptoms. For 15 years after retirement, Robert had maintained the same routine: morning coffee while reading the newspaper for an hour, followed by several hours of computer work managing his investments, afternoon television viewing, and evening reading. He was sitting 12 to 14 hours daily, broken only by brief trips to the kitchen or bathroom. Robert's prostate had enlarged significantly, and he was waking 4 to 5 times nightly to urinate. His urinary stream had weakened considerably, and he experienced constant discomfort in his pelvic region. Traditional treatments had provided minimal relief. When we analyzed his daily routine and identified prolonged sitting as a primary contributing factor, we implemented specific postural changes and movement protocols. Within 6 weeks of modifying his sitting habits, Robert experienced dramatic improvements. His nighttime urination decreased to once or twice per night. His urinary stream strengthened noticeably, and the constant pelvic discomfort virtually disappeared. Blood tests showed reduced inflammatory markers, and follow-up imaging revealed measurable improvement in prostate size and blood flow. The psychological dimension of prolonged sitting adds another layer to this complex health challenge. Extended sitting periods are strongly associated with increased stress, anxiety, and depression in older adults. These psychological states directly influence prostate health through the stress hormone cortisol. Elevated cortisol levels promote inflammation throughout the body and interfere with the normal hormonal balance required for optimal prostate function. Sleep quality suffers significantly in men who spend most of their day sitting. Poor sleep, in turn, affects hormone production, immune function, and the body's natural repair processes. Many men trapped in prolonged sitting patterns develop a vicious cycle. Poor prostate health disrupts sleep through frequent nighttime urination, which increases stress and fatigue, leading to more sedentary behavior during the day. The digestive implications of prolonged sitting extend their influence to prostate health through multiple pathways. Extended sitting slows intestinal transit time, promoting constipation and allowing toxic substances to remain in contact with intestinal walls longer than ideal. These toxins can be reabsorbed into circulation and eventually affect prostate tissue. Additionally, chronic constipation increases pressure within the pelvic cavity, further compressing the prostate and surrounding structures. Muscle weakness throughout the pelvic floor develops gradually but inevitably with prolonged sitting habits. The muscles that support your prostate, control urination, and contribute to intimate function all require regular activation to maintain strength and coordination. When these muscles remain inactive for hours at a time, they gradually weaken and lose their ability to provide adequate support for optimal prostate function. The breathing patterns associated with prolonged sitting contribute to this cascade of problems affecting prostate health. When you sit for extended periods, especially in slouched positions, your breathing becomes shallow and inefficient. This altered breathing pattern reduces oxygen delivery throughout your body, including to prostate tissue. Additionally, shallow breathing activates stress responses that elevate cortisol and other hormones that negatively impact prostate health. Spinal compression during prolonged sitting affects nerve pathways that control prostate function. As your spine compresses under the weight of prolonged sitting, the nerve roots that emerge from your lower spine and innervate your prostate can become irritated or compressed. This neural interference can disrupt normal prostate function, bladder control, and intimate response. The solution to this widespread problem isn't complicated, but it does require commitment and consistency. The key lies in fundamentally changing your relationship with sitting throughout the day. This doesn't mean eliminating sitting entirely, which would be impractical for most men. Instead, it means implementing specific strategies that neutralize the harmful effects of prolonged sitting while promoting optimal prostate health. Dynamic sitting represents the first component of this solution. Instead of remaining in static positions for hours, you need to incorporate regular postural changes every 20 to 30 minutes. This might involve shifting your weight from one side to the other, adjusting your backrest angle, or simply changing the position of your feet. These small movements help maintain blood flow and prevent the compression that damages prostate health. The 2-hour rule provides a practical framework for protecting your prostate throughout the day. Never remain in any sitting position for more than 2 consecutive hours without standing and moving for at least 5 minutes. This movement break doesn't need to be strenuous exercise. Simple walking, stretching, or standing activities are sufficient to restore healthy circulation and relieve pelvic compression. Proper sitting posture makes an enormous difference in how sitting affects your prostate health. Your feet should remain flat on the floor, your knees slightly lower than your hips, and your lower back should maintain its natural inward curve. Avoid soft, unsupportive surfaces that allow your pelvis to sink into unhealthy positions. A firm cushion or lumbar support can help maintain proper spinal alignment and reduce pressure on your pelvic floor. Active sitting options provide excellent alternatives for men who must spend significant time in seated positions. Exercise balls, balance discs, or specially designed ergonomic seats that require core muscle engagement can transform passive sitting into active posture maintenance. These tools keep your pelvic floor muscles gently activated while reducing the static compression that harms prostate health. Temperature management becomes crucial for men concerned about prostate wellness. Avoid sitting on heated surfaces for extended periods, and ensure adequate ventilation around your pelvic area during long sitting sessions. In cars, use ventilated seats when available, and take regular breaks during long drives to allow your pelvic area to cool and circulation to normalize. The standing desk revolution offers tremendous benefits for prostate health, even for men who can't stand all day. Alternating between sitting and standing throughout your workday provides the movement variation that your prostate needs to function optimally. Even spending just 2 to 3 hours of your workday standing can significantly improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and support healthy prostate function. Specific exercises can counteract the negative effects of necessary sitting time. Pelvic floor exercises, also known as Kegel exercises, help strengthen the muscles that support your prostate. Deep breathing exercises improve circulation and reduce stress hormones that affect prostate health. Gentle spinal movements and hip stretches can relieve the compression and tension that accumulate during sitting periods. The evening routine becomes particularly important for men who must sit extensively during the day. Spending time in movement-based activities after work helps restore healthy circulation and relieves the compression that accumulates during sitting. This might include walking, gardening, swimming, or any activity that keeps you upright and moving for extended periods. Hydration timing requires adjustment when you're working to minimize sitting time. Many men reduce their fluid intake to avoid frequent bathroom breaks, but this approach backfires by concentrating urine and increasing irritation to prostate tissue. Instead, focus on consistent hydration throughout the day while using bathroom breaks as opportunities for beneficial movement. Sleep positioning can help counteract the effects of daytime sitting on prostate health. Sleeping with a pillow between your knees helps maintain proper pelvic alignment and reduces overnight compression of prostate-supporting structures. Some men find that elevating their legs slightly during sleep improves circulation and reduces morning urinary urgency. The dietary connection to sitting and prostate health reveals additional optimization opportunities. Anti-inflammatory foods become even more important for men who must sit extensively, as these nutrients help counteract the inflammatory effects of prolonged sitting. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds can help minimize the damage that sitting inflicts on prostate tissue. Stress management takes on special importance for men dealing with the effects of prolonged sitting on prostate health. The stress of dealing with urinary symptoms, combined with the physiological stress of prolonged sitting, creates a compound burden on your prostate. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, and other stress reduction techniques help break this cycle and support healing. Professional support can accelerate your recovery from the effects of prolonged sitting on prostate health. Pelvic floor physical therapists specialize in treating the exact problems that prolonged sitting creates. These specialists can assess your specific situation and provide targeted exercises and techniques to restore optimal function more quickly than self-directed approaches alone. The transformation that's possible when you address prolonged sitting as a threat to prostate health extends far beyond symptom relief. Men who successfully modify their sitting habits often experience improved energy levels, better sleep quality, enhanced mood, and renewed confidence in their physical capabilities. The circulation improvements that benefit your prostate also enhance overall health and vitality. Your prostate health after 65 isn't predetermined by genetics or aging. The daily choices you make about movement, posture, and activity patterns have profound effects on how your prostate ages and functions. By recognizing prolonged sitting as the silent threat it truly represents, you can take immediate action to protect and restore your prostate health. The power to change your prostate health trajectory lies entirely within your control. Starting today, you can begin implementing the movement patterns, postural adjustments, and lifestyle modifications that will support optimal prostate function for years to come. Your prostate has been silently suffering under the burden of prolonged sitting, but it also has remarkable capacity to heal and restore function when you provide the movement and circulation it needs. The choice is yours. You can continue accepting declining prostate health as an inevitable part of aging, or you can recognize that your daily sitting habits are actively contributing to your symptoms and take action to change them. Your prostate is waiting for the movement, circulation, and freedom from compression that will allow it to function as nature intended, regardless of your age. 7 blood tests. Your doctor orders, but you don't need. After 65, Dr. Evelyn Hart explains.